Hi Aries, this reading is for the month of March and April, or from the time you view it. Um, I often find that when I watch readings, they don't resonate at the time frame that the reader had said, but when I actually watch it. So it's also for anyone. This reading could be for a relationship. This reading could be for someone who's just, you know, dating and wondering. This reading could be about someone who's wondering about work as well, because I'm getting a bit of both there for work and relationships. So for the month of March and April, I'm seeing that the heart of the matter for some of you, if it's a relationship, is a person. This person is showing up as the King of Cups. It could be male or female. What I'm getting about this person is that they are not very forthcoming about their emotions. They may be keeping their emotions under wraps, and perhaps you're feeling a bit left out in the cold or confused or abandoned in some way. For others, this is you perhaps doing this to someone else. You don't want to share your feelings, maybe out of fear of being left alone, or because maybe you're doing something maybe that you shouldn't be doing. For everyone, it's going to be different. And for work, it's, again, you're keeping your emotions to yourself. It could be about your finances when it comes to work. Perhaps you're short on funds, you need a job, you're out of a job, you're desperate for a job, something like that. Because in the past, what I'm seeing is, in terms of work, I'm seeing finances were a little bit of a problem. You were juggling finances. Perhaps you were making a lot, but a lot was also going out, or you had to really budget, be really careful with your budget. Perhaps because of some news you didn't want to hear. Maybe your job is downsizing or something, and you had to be let go, or there was a cut in funding if you work for the government, something like that. In terms of a relationship, whether this is just a friendship or a love relationship, I think Aries was putting in a lot of energy into a person. Now, that can be literally spending time with someone, that could be thinking about someone, that could be, anything. But there's like a bit of an imbalance here, because I'm seeing that you're taking on more than this other person. Perhaps you were giving way more, and it perhaps got to you a bit, because I'm seeing that you were trying to figure this person out. Like, I don't think you fully trusted this person, yet I'm still seeing that you were giving a lot of yourself to this person in whatever way that means for you. The obstacle for March and April is the Hermit. And what I'm seeing here is that your emotions are getting in the way of you being able to hear your higher self, to perhaps see something that maybe others can see that you can't. And just listening to that voice inside, because we all have it. But when we're in a situation, it's really hard for us to listen to that because we're emotionally attached. So whether that's, about a job, and maybe you're just worrying that you're not going to get this job, you're worrying about your finances, you need to go within, because you're going to find some answers there, some clarity, maybe an idea. We can't really be creative when we're stressed, right? We need to bring ourselves down a notch so we can hear our higher self. For people that this is resonating on a relationship level, your emotions are getting in the way of seeing this person perhaps for who they are. With the energy I'm looking at, a lot of the times this person, well, I would argue all the time, but in this reading, people will show you who they are, but we tend to, I say us as humans, we tend to not listen. And I don't really know why we do that. There's probably many reasons, but listen to who this person, like how this person is presenting. If they're ignoring you, if they're, canceling plans on you, listen to that. Now it is a retrograde. So this energy of not knowing what the hell's going on is quite common. Mercury's moving into Pisces, which they are total opposite energies. So Pisces, Mercury doesn't blend very well with Pisces, and so you may be finding it really hard to grasp reality. Um, Not in terms of like psychosis, but in terms of just you're very hyper vigilant, and you should be, especially during that time. But at the same point, it's more about Piscean energy is more about listening to your intuition, not your logic, because your logic's not going to be working very well. And that's the astrological part. But what I'm seeing is you're very disappointed. If this is a relationship, you're disappointed in someone. You perhaps might be, I'm getting a lot of waiting energy, like you're waiting on them. Perhaps you've invested a lot of time. Well, again, I've already said that, but the energy is kind of repeating itself here, that you've, invested a lot of time and energy, but you're not really getting what you thought you'd get back. Now, again, for some of you, this is money. Maybe, the position at the level you're in your job is closing, and so you're applying for a different position, and you've worked for this company for years, but, they're not really just hiring you. They're telling you have to go through the whole screening process, and it's worrying you because you might be out of a job. For others, a male is showing up around here. So in terms of work, it could be a boss. But in terms of a relationship, this person's showing up as the King of Wands. Now, I don't want to hate on the King of Wands, but, this is an all upright reading. So, I don't know if he is in a reverse position. He very well may be. But the King of Wands is every time I see him, I'm kind of like, what's this guy up to? Because he's kind of the charmer. He's, he would be great at marketing because he knows how to just manipulate and charm. But as a person, in terms of a relationship, this person is why you're kind of waiting and disappointed. And I feel like perhaps you had a lot of hope for this person. But again, with the star being the basis of the situation, it could be that you are hopeful. But when I clarified, it's more like I get this waiting energy, and like the star can talk about someone being out of reach, out of distance. So perhaps maybe this person doesn't live near you, or they live out of state, or maybe you're literally just waiting on them. And it's interesting that this energy, I always am interested to see the readings during the Mercury retrograde, because a lot of people are not getting answers, or they're not making progress, because the Mercury retrograde forces us to slow down and to reevaluate whatever it is we need to reevaluate. And it does that to help us, because perhaps we've missed something. So if you're in a relationship, from my experience, if you're in a relationship and it starts to go weird during a retrograde, watch that. Because typically a healthy relationship shouldn't get all wired or, weird during a retrograde. Basic miscommunication, fine. But if this person's just disappeared, that's a pretty big red flag. Now, the interesting thing is where you're ending up towards the end of April. Now, remember, time is fluid, is the Knight of Swords. So I don't really like this energy. This energy is very brash. It's aggressive. It can be a verbal argument. This is one of the fastest moving knights. Now, when I asked what was causing this, I got the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. So this is like sudden. The Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the Knight of Swords all represent something coming out of the blue, perhaps. So, and with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower, this could be very karmic, of course. It could also be sorry, I'm just thinking. It could also be that this is you, that you have had enough with this person or with your boss or whoever you're having issues with, and you just demand. Because when I clarified the Knight of Swords, I got the King of Swords, the Ten of Swords, a bunch of other cards. And basically what I'm looking at is that someone either is getting clarity, or I think no matter which side you're on, you're going to get your clarity, but someone is actively pursuing it in an aggressive way, or they're getting it in an aggressive way. And maybe they're getting it because they went, poking around. I don't know. Because the King of Swords is about clarity, but it can also be about someone cutting someone out. Because with the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords, this is drama. This is perhaps a sudden breakup. This is perhaps, just unnecessary drama, really. And it's because of a relationship. So for some of you, this is definitely a romantic partner. I guess it could be a friendship too. And there was never a lot of clarity in this relationship. I'm seeing that with the moon surrounding this relationship, perhaps it was one of those like, ooh, I'm so in love with this person and too good to be true kind of feelings. Perhaps it was someone that you met when you were under the influence. I've seen that before. Anyways, you just weren't seeing this person clearly, but you're going to. That's what I'm seeing. You're going to, and it's going to be in a big way. And for some of you, it's not going to feel too good. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Now, in terms of work, it could be that, something comes out of the blue and it's not to your liking. You don't get the job, or maybe there's someone in your work environment who's, done something underhanded. I'm getting more of a relationship energy in terms of this column, but it definitely can be applied to work. Interestingly, in your environment, it's like you don't have a clear direction. So in terms of a job or a relationship, you don't know which way you're going. And I think it's because either you're keeping someone waiting because you don't know yourself what you want, or they're keeping you kind of at a distance. Now, under the hopes and fears, in terms of a job, this is definitely that you're really hoping you get the job because you are willing to do the work and you want to show off your craftsmanship, your whatever you do. You want to show them that you are capable, you are reliable, and you're good at what you do. And if you're not, you're going to practice and you're going to do the training and you're going to get it, do what they need. That's for career. In terms of a relationship, I don't really like the Eight of Pentacles in this situation because it's almost like you could be fearing that this relationship is going to require a lot of work. And I don't ever like the Eight of Pentacles in terms of love because I don't believe relationships should be exhaustive. I don't think they should be that much work at all. As a hope, it could be that you're hoping this person, wants to work on this, work things out, build a solid foundation with you. Interestingly, your advice for the month of March and April is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, I have to point out that the Knight of Pentacles is the opposite of this Knight of Swords energy. And that makes me wonder if it's not you, Aries, who might maybe something triggers you and you just go on full attack with someone, and just be careful because you might not, what I'm seeing is it might not go your way. It might go in a way that it doesn't need to go. Like, endings don't have to be dramatic. They don't have to be, and yeah. So anyways, so if that's you, the Knight of Pentacles is saying you need to take your time here. You need to slow down and you need to ground yourself and think practically, because especially with the retrograde, you may get so irritated with this person that you're involved with that you react and it goes this, nasty way, when if you had just waited before you reacted and let the Mercury retrograde pass, feel your feels, sit in your discomfort, you might not do the same thing you did at that time, if that makes sense. Like, if oftentimes we react, and reacting is never a good idea. And what I'm seeing here is that you have the choice almost to react or respond. And sometimes in order to respond, we need to take some time because we need to gather our thoughts and, get on, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just get our heads straightened out. And you may find that you want to react, but if you don't and you wait, you may not even care about this person. You may just be like, bye, Felicia. Like, I don't need you, and it doesn't have to go this dramatic way. The cards are not predictive at all. We have free will. But interestingly, it's always interesting, isn't it? The Wisdom Oracle card that I pulled for you is Yang. in reverse, it's number 1. Now, yang is literally like it's so funny. It's reverse, so it is a um it's a protection message, meaning you're getting extra protection at this time. And yang is literally in reverse, is all about being mindful of the tendency towards impulsive action, like being overconfident and over aggressive, which is exactly what this Knight of Swords is. He doesn't think before he talks. He just runs in there with his sword, and he can cause the Ten of Swords very easily. He doesn't think. And, this may not be you doing it. It may be someone else. The advice goes the same. Don't react to them, because people who do that can bring out that side in us. And all we're doing is just lowering our vibration and our level of consciousness, which is, it doesn't serve us. So another thing, so this is your general advice as well. And it's basically saying to think before you act, so you don't get yourself into a situation that may lead to an uncomfortable consequence, and to be really sure that what you're chasing after is what you want, because you might be sorry when you get it. And it's so funny because that's exactly what I'm seeing here. It's like someone's coming in fast, hard, strong, and stupid. I hate to say that, but this person's not thinking straight. They're reacting, and it could lead to this. Like this painful, dramatic ending. Like this could be a third party for some people, or it could just be, a breakup, a painful ending, a painful revelation, or just hurt in general, when it doesn't need to go that way. And, this card is saying that it's not to cause fear in you, but perhaps you're in a big lesson here. Maybe this person is trying to teach you something, and you really need to practice just temperance and thoughtful consideration before you act. So that's a really big message for, at least one Aries out there. And same for work. It's the same situation goes. So maybe, the retrograde is slowing things down, and maybe your boss says, I'm definitely going to be hiring you. I'm going on vacation, or I'm just busy, like I'll get back to you, but you're going to be hired for one of these positions, and then they don't get back to you, and maybe you hear a rumor or something. I'm totally making this up, but maybe you hear a rumor that the job has been filled, and you just freak out. You're just like, what the hell, how could you do this? And you react, and then as a result you don't get the job because you caused this dramatic scene when you didn't have all the facts. So that's another thing with Mercury retrograde. Wait till it's over, because then you'll have all the facts. You're not going to get all the facts during the retrograde. Some of them might be popping up, but wait until Mercury is like, when does it go direct? It goes direct March 28th, but then it's kind of in that hangover period for people who know astrology. You know what that is. So after the 28th, things might start to feel a bit clearer, but we're not totally clear of this Piscean, energy until I think about mid-April. So, this is a time to just chill. So for whatever situation this is, the big message that I'm getting in this reading is to not be hasty. Do not just react. Wait. Waiting is your best friend. That doesn't mean you need to, if you're not trusting someone, that doesn't mean you just, you don't have to see them if you don't want to, but just wait before you do anything drastic. Because you might not be getting all the pieces to the story. So I hope that was helpful for someone. And please share. I don't keep comments open for now, but you can always email me if something really sticks out. And yeah, I hope that was helpful for some of you.